All right. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Hello, Janice. How are you doing? Oh, Mike's already on top of that. He's already asked you how you're doing. Awesome. So glad you are great. We're doing great as well. So today's paint pour technique we're going to be going over is like open cylinder, or I like to napkin rings. These are just napkin rings from the Dollar Tree. You can use any plastic cylinder, PVC pipe. I also use toilet paper rolls or like paper towel rolls, or you can even use the cookie cutters, or you can cut the bottom off of a cup and just use that as your open cylinder. So there is so many options, just open cylinder. So then we're also going to do like negative space where it's one color. The first we're going to do black. And then we're going to do some that have got a split background where some black, some white background. I'm going to just show you a whole variety of open cylinder or like napkin ring, toilet paper roll, all those type of paint pours. So we just have our paint mixed up just the same as all of our paint is mixed up exactly the same with Floetrol. And so this is Cheap Paint, the brand Cheap Paint. Just getting a little bit, some background spread out, and then we'll do a napkin ring paint pour on this one. And I'm going to do it kind of galaxy colors a little bit. So how was your week? What has everybody been up to? Might need to get a little bit more black. We'll see. We might be able to get, yeah, I think I better just get a little bit more on this side. And you can do any color. You don't have to do white, black. We're going to do one maybe in some cream colored background. We're going to do one in maybe a real nice light blue summer sky is the color. So, all right, we've got a nice coat on the background to shake you off that last little bit. Gonna wipe the palette knife clean so it's ready to go for the next one. So, all right. So this first one, we're gonna use one of these napkin rings. So these are just little plastic napkin rings. You get them 6 of them for $1. I did do a video earlier today with the napkin rings, and I've used them quite a bit actually on my channel. And you get them at the Dollar Tree, and they're in kind of the wedding decor section. Hey, Mr. Doughboy, how are you doing? So I got some purple. I got some cobalt blue. A little bit of turquoise. This green is called Margarita. Oh, your allergies are running crazy. Even the dog is sneezing. Oh, no. Well, hopefully that won't last too long. It's just hopefully the adjustment to this season change and everything. That's terrible. That is no fun. So we're just got some turquoise, some purples, a neon purple, a permanent violet. This green is Margarita. All right, the permanent violet, the darker purple, had silicone. And now when I'm gonna slightly lift up. I'm just gonna kind of feather it up, I kind of call it. And as I do it, I kind of twist it back and forth. You can just go straight. You can whatever you want at this point. But I always kind of let a little bit out on this side, just a little bit to kind of get it to go to the edge there. And then we're going to start heading this way. And I'm going to kind of go feather it back and forth. And we're just going to let a little bit out, little bit at a time. Kind of feathering it up, kind of giving it some twists. all the way to the edge. All right, so you can see the cells already popping up there. Giving it a slight torch, and then we're going to kind of spread them about, and then you can leave it like this. You can just, if you like that look, you can leave it just like this. I'm going to show what I sometimes do. I'll blow out the edges. Kind of a nice minimalist, just slight, you know, not too big. I'm half tempted to leave it now, not blow out the edges on this one. And this be our example of just leaving it, just minimalist, not much. Or then the next one, I can blow out the edges and show you that. We'll just stretch it a little bit more here. And all you're doing there is just kind of stretching out those cells. All right, so I did get a little bit off this corner. We'll just touch that up a tiny bit, no biggie. But I think we're just going to leave this one. Yeah, kind of a Milky Way, kind of a galaxy, minimalist. So this is not blowing out the edges. Now, the next one I do, I will show you what I mean by blowing out the edges. So this is just a napkin ring paint pour, and this is just feathering it real slightly through. And I will show on maybe my community tab in a couple days how this one dries, because sometimes what can happen is your black can take over and then your neons sink down in your black and they just don't dry so clearly. So what I have done is my neons, I have tested all these out in drying. So they stay nice and bright, and I have them a little bit thicker. So then they're not going to sink down. So I will show this dry in a couple days, and you'll see that it'll stay nice and bright and neon. So, all right. And then, of course, once it's clear coated, it'll be even brighter. So, all right. That's the first one. Yeah, it makes the colors pop, that black. So there you go. There's the first one. And then the next one. And so that was a 10 by 10 inch canvas. And this is another 10 by 10 inch canvas. And so we're going to be doing a variety of canvases today. So that was a 10 by 10 inch canvas. And that's another 10 by 10 inch canvas. So now this one, I think I'm going to do it with the canvas mainly white, like this amount of white. And then the other part of the canvas, I think I might do blue, that bottom corner. So we're just getting some white, and my base paint, it's just mixed just like all the rest. So, all right, just wiping my palette knife, making sure I don't have any black on there. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to do it like 2/3 of the canvas white, and then the rest of it we're going to do blue. And then we'll do another napkin ring pour. I'll show that. So experiment with colors, experiment with different colors of your background. Okay, so there's a nice even white there. Now we're going to do some of this blue. It is ultramarine blue. So this bottom little corner will be blue. And then we'll do a napkin ring pour down the kind of the center here, or between the two colors, the middle of the two colors. All right, let me wipe my palette knife off. So you can just use whatever you have at home to do these. You can cut off the bottom of a cup. You can go to the Dollar Tree and grab some of these napkin rings. Use up, recycle your toilet paper rolls, your just whatever you might see. There's so many just open cylinder is all it is. It could be, your open cylinder could be just about anything. So I'm just bringing it up to that white. I have, my paint is mixed up, 3 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint, very, very little water just to make it to the right consistency. And I'll let you know which ones have silicone, but very few of my colors have silicone. But each time I use a color with silicone, I'll let you know which one that is. So another napkin ring. Yeah, you could cut up a paper towel roll and make it like multiple cylinders. So we're going to place this one right here. We're going to use a variety of blues and greens here. So there is some real light blue, a little bit more navy blue. This navy blue does have silicone. And I use like 2 drops. Each of my bottles, the ones I say, this one has silicone, like for a whole bottle of paint mixed up, 2 drops of the Spot On treadmill oil. All right, so we got some light blue, some navy blue. This is bluegrass green. You know, I'm not real sure. I cannot remember every one of the colors. I don't remember that green, what color. Some of this ultramarine blue that we have on the background. And a little bit of the white we have on the background. And then we'll go back through the colors a little bit. Some of the light blue, navy, bluegrass green. And I believe this is actually citron was the color. Okay, so we're going to then just lightly pull this and let paint come out bottom, kind of. But this one will blow out the edge. We'll show you kind of that, what I mean. I don't know where that little bit of pink came from. Get that off there. Just kind of stretching out the cells a little bit. All right, now I'm going to blow out the edge and kind of show you that. So at this time, when you're going to blow out the edge, you can use straws. You can use like aquarium tubing. And then you can also use this little, oh, look, I have a paint skin right stuck to it. You can use one of these little, they're USB powered, the little world's smallest blow dryer. So I am going to use this one for this one, just a little bit. So it does have a little bit of noise, so sorry about that, guys. But I'm just going to kind of just slightly these edges, but not a ton. So you can do just be finished there. I mean, you don't even have to blow out the edges at all. Or you can come in and kind of detail, kind of. But yeah, you can, I mean, there's so many different ways you can just change it up a tiny bit, doing a solid color in the background. You could have just gone straight diagonal. You can kind of go at a curve. You could do multiple colors to the background. There's just thousands and thousands of ways of just slight variations to the same old technique. So I am just going to a little bit right here. But just kind of creates kind of a wispy edge, kind of more organic edge to it. Oh yeah, so wispy. Yep, exactly. So all right. That is, and I'm not sure if you guys can see, there is quite a bit of cells through the middle. And that is just having one color with silicone. Only one color. And I didn't even torch it either. Which you just got to pay attention if you're getting air bubbles. So that's when you really want to torch it. So, all right. Now this one, we're going to use this little, it's a cookie cutter, and I've already used it quite a few times on these. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use, I'm trying to decide black or, yeah, I think we'll do another black background. And this one is one of those 4 by 12-inch canvases. It's one of those gallery wrapped. So it has a real thick, it's about 1.5 inches thick. So this one, I think we'll use some red, some turquoise. And then I will have to kind of make sure that I get all the sides, and real tedious about the sides here after the stream. So the open cylinder or napkin ring or toilet paper, this technique in general, it's seriously one of my favorites. It's so versatile. I really like the look of having the negative space background. And you can add this to other techniques. You can do a flip cup and then do a napkin ring through a flip cup or a swipe. Here in a few, I'll show you swiping out the edges. So, all right, we have our, and you can reuse these, any of these over and over again. You can reuse the napkin rings. You can even reuse the cardboard over and over again. So, all right, we're just gonna, now I am gonna put a little bit more black just for this to kind of guide across. Just around the edge a little bit. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this baby pink here. Then we have a little bit of a brighter pink here. It's kind of a little bit more of a salmony pink. And then we're going to go into some red. Because I had forgot, I had actually already said that's the colors I was going to use, but that's okay. We're going to have some pink. So that's a little bit darker pink. Then we're going to get some red out. Almost out of the red. I'll have to mix some more up. And that red does have, it is crimson, and it does have a little bit of silicone. And then we have some turquoise, and that has a little bit of silicone as well. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more pink in there. Sorry about that. So, all right, you don't need much. This is a pretty small canvas. So we're going to just let a little bit out that side and just kind of pull it across. I'm just kind of moving it back and forth. Okay, so I need a little bit more paint in there. Just a little bit more paint, but woo, cell explosion. Just the same colors, just a little bit more. See if we can get some red out. We might be out. Just a little. Oh, perfect, perfect. So then that's turquoise. So if you don't have enough paint, you can always stop and put more. It's no big deal. All right. So let's stretch those out so we kind of get where it to marry together, so you don't see so much of where I put the color, stopped and put more color. Woo. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my just a piece of aquarium tubing, and that way I can reuse it over and over again. I'm going to blot some of the edges just to kind of wispy it together a little. And another one where the black really makes that pop. And I'll go ahead and give it a torch. I do see a couple of air bubbles, especially right over here. So I was just lightly blowing. When I blow the edges, I'm blowing it more horizontal with the canvas. Pretty much, maybe at like almost a 45-degree angle. When I'm blowing the edges, that's where I get the end of my aquarium tubing is like about 45. But then when I went in and I started blowing the center, I was blowing a lot lighter, and I was blowing straight down, just barely, just trying to kind of bring up some of that black, sink down some of that pink to kind of match it up. Thank you. Thank you. So I am going to give it a little bit of a torch. This is just a creme brulee or a chef's torch. Just real quickly bringing the heat over the surface, mainly to pop bubbles. So, all right. And then that's just a small one. Just show you can use a cookie cutter. You can use whatever you have at home available. Okay, so each time I hand them off to Mike, and he thankfully puts them to dry. This one's real crooked. It doesn't want to sit. Could you help get that one leveled? Yeah. The key is making sure they're level. So, all right, we have an 8 by 10 inch now. Now we're going to do, I think we'll do this one. We're going to do with just the cup right in the center and just let the paint flow. So we're going to do a background of, this is Apple Barrel's Summer Sky. A beautiful, nice spring cheery blue, nice light cheery blue. I love this color. We're actually in the process of renovating our bathroom, and I think this is going to be very similar color, maybe just a shade lighter of what we're going to do the bathroom. The cabinetry and the flooring is all like black and white, and then I think we'll do this for the walls. So just using my trusty palette knife to get this one. And all of my paint is mixed all the same. And I have several videos on how I mix my paint, what I mix my paint with. And it's all the base paint, and all of it is with Floetrol. And I use a whole variety of different brands. But my favorite brand is the cheap paint. Is the brand Cheap Paint, CHEEP. Has anybody else used that brand? So I'm just getting this spread out evenly to all the edges. Might have to get just a little bit more. Just a tad bit more. Yeah, isn't it a nice color? I really like it. And I think with the flooring is black and white checker, and then our bathroom has like white cabinetry. So the flooring's black and white, and then the white cabinetry. I think the real subtle, nice light blue would really look nice. So all right. Now what we're going to do, I've just taken a small cup and I have plastic cup. I've just cut the top off, and we're going to use that. I'm trying to decide which way I want to go. I think we'll use this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of layer of the base color around that. Now we're going to start using some colors. We got some Tuscan Teal, Cascade, Sea Glass, Deco Arts Pebble. I believe those last three colors were Apple Barrel and Deco Art. Some navy blue, and this one has the silicone. Then we're going to use some Craft Smart Plum. And then we're going to go back through the colors. Tuscan Teal, which is Apple Barrel, Deco Art Cascade, Deco Art Pebble, Apple Barrel's Real Navy, and that has silicone. And so, all right, let me get this moved out of the way. It does mix so well with Floetrol. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear somebody else is using that brand and enjoying them. It is my very favorite by far. So, all right, we have a variety of colors here. We're just kind of jewel tone colors. I'm just kind of gonna let this one kind of on its own. And I will have to my fingerprint here. So I'm just kind of swirling it out of there in a way. This is going to create a nice subtle wispy again. All right. Now we're going to stretch that out. This is an 8 by 10 inch canvas. And then we are going to blow this one quite a bit, actually. We got to get that edge that I got. All right. I'm looking for the aquarium tubing. I have it around my neck like a necklace, and I couldn't even find it. I'm looking all around me. Oh, gosh. All right, now I'm going to give that a little bit of a torch. I do see a little bit of air bubbles. So, all right. So that one just kind of I'm going to go ahead and stretch it this way just a little bit. jewel tones kind of on a blue background, and with the open cup with the cut cup. So next we're going to do a toilet paper roll one. So let me get this one. And what I like about this one, if you can see the variety of, there's some really little cells, there's some really big cells. I just really kind of like the different variety you get with this. All right, that was an 8 by 10 inch canvas. Now we have, with some cat hair, now we have a 12 by 12 inch canvas. And then to finish today, so this is the second to the last, then the last one will be a 10 by 20 inch canvas. So let's see. I think this one we are going to do a like cream colored background. I believe this is actually Apple Barrel's Antique White. Apple Barrel's Antique White is what it is. It's a kind of a creamy color. So this one we're going to do, it's going to be a very earth tone kind of one. We're going to use some yellow ochre, some brown, some burnt umber, just some different earthy tones. Getting just a layer down, and then we'll get that spread out. Gonna wipe my palette knife clean. Thank you. So what is everybody planned for the rest of the week? And happy Easter. Did everybody have a good Easter? We just had a real mellow Easter. Just stayed home, as we've been doing every day for a year. But we didn't do much of anything for Easter. How was everyone's Easter? I forgot about that. This week has kind of flown by. It almost feels like it's been a week or two since Easter, not just a few days. But we're hoping to get some hiking in the next few days. We have not been able to get out and about and do some hiking. So we're really hoping to do that very soon in the next couple days. We live near the beautiful, beautiful Columbia River Gorge, the Columbia River that goes in between, Washington and Oregon. We live very close. We live super close to the Columbia River Gorge. So we love to go up the gorge, and there's so many beautiful places to hike up there. But with our Northwest winter weather, it's just finally where we can think about going, hiking and some fun stuff here coming up. So we're starting to plan all of our hiking trips, and so that's exciting. So all right, we got a 12 by 12 inch canvas. We've got the antique white on it. I've just got a toilet paper roll, and I use these literally over and over again. No issues. So we're going to put it right there, I think. So we've got some burnt umber. This burnt umber does have the silicone. And we're going to just use some earthy tones, some real nice earthy tones on this one. That's that Deco Art Pebble. This is the Cheap Paints Yellow Ochre. And then Cheap Paints Burnt Sienna. And this one is honestly, it's a mixture that I've kind of just, it's a brown, it's clogged as well. Let me poke it with a toothpick. But this one is a mixture of a few different colors. So I can't really, it's kind of a caramely color that I have not used very much. So now it doesn't want to work. Oh, you're planning a hike this weekend as well. That is awesome. Oh, good. Yeah, we have just beautiful places here in the Northwest to hike. So this is the burnt, the burnt umber and white mixed together of the cheap paint. So now I am going to throw, this is going to be our color with, or I think actually both of these have silicone. So I am going to throw a little bit of navy in there too. So it'll be kind of browns and that navy blue. Now we probably have plenty of paint. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of feather that. I let some out the back end. Now just kind of feathering this across, letting just a little bit out as I go. Every once in a while, giving a little twist just to kind of pull up the colors a little. Now there's a lot of paint in there. So what I noticed is I got to the end and I still had quite a bit of paint. I'm literally going to just go back. No worries. So there. All right. Looks like a mess right now. Doesn't look like much of anything right now. But let me get it kind of. Let me turn that so it's at the camera a little bit better. All right, now we're going to get it turned around a little bit more this way. That's just me knocking over my torch, but everything's fine. All right, let me get a little bit of elbow room here and I'll blow out that, kind of create a little bit more cell action. And you can leave it like this. You can torch it, see what you get. And then you can leave it like that, or, you know, whatever you are wanting. I am going to blow out the edges a little bit. Well, we have, I guess if you really went, I think people find gems in the gorge too. I don't know what kind. All right, got to catch my breath a little bit and then. You love how they evolve. Yeah, they definitely evolve, don't they? Sometimes when you pull the it back at first, you're like, oh, I don't know about that. But then you can kind of spread it about, blow out the edges, and you get a little bit more. I love that we have just a little pop of blue. That's kind of cool. So now you could, if you wanted to, you can take your palette knives, and sometimes I just barely pull out the edge. Just like the tip of a small palette knife. Kind of just a wispy out. But yeah, you could leave it alone at any point you want to. You can keep messing with it. You can just kind of bring a little bit out just with the palette knives. So, all right. I love that we just have a little tiny pop of the blue. I think that looks really nice. Just a little kind of ribbon, a little vein of the blue coming through, and that's it. So let me just real quick, I see I got this edge just a little bit and this edge. All right, so now the next one, I'm gonna make myself some room. So we have one last one. Let's hand this one off to Mike. We're gonna do another toilet paper roll on a bigger canvas. So I think I'm actually going to do, I was going to do a 10 by 20. I think I want to do, I have enough room. I'm going to do a 16 by 20. So let me grab one out. Just grabbing another canvas real quick. Thank you. So we did a whole variety of colors. You notice that I just kind of stuck with either like blacks and neons, like earthy, whoa, dropped them right on the tiles. Sorry about that loud crash. All right, we have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, so we're going to have a lot of negative space with this one. So now I'm going to get down. So this will be the last one. I'm just going to leave it in place when I'm done. I'm getting some yogurt cups to put those down to put this canvas on. So I'm thinking this last one is just kind of going to be a whole variety of colors. Okay, let's see. We'll have to adjust those a little bit. My gloves are filthy. You can see I'm getting these canvases filthy. Woo, that's going to be a big canvas for you guys to see. Maybe I might have to go by the 10 by 20. Should I do this one with 16 by 20 or do a 10 by 20 so you guys can see a little better? Oh, I don't know. I can get it, I think, in there most of the way. Yeah, that gets it in there pretty good. So, all right, that got most of it pretty much on there. So this one, we're going to do another one where it's kind of split down the middle. So I think this one I'm going to go with black and white. So we're going to do black down here and then white the rest of it. And we can go straight across diagonal. You don't have to go at a curve like that, but I was just thinking that would be fun looking. So, all right, I think we'll just we'll do black and white, and I think we'll go with just a whole variety of colors. Finish off that bottle of black there. All right. And the rest of it will be white. And then we'll do this one with a toilet paper roll. But I think I'm going to blow the edges out of this one quite a bit with the mini blower. So this is 16 by 20 inches. So, all right. And then this one is the last one for today. You can see about 90% of it. All right, so it still works. All right. And I think the main, the main design, that'll go down here, you'll see most of that. So I think that's what matters. You'll see the color. You don't need to see the edges, I guess, where it's not really going to have much action happening anyways. Just pushing that black right to the edge there. And then we'll be able to see kind of the difference of the colors, how they pop against the black and how they pop against the white. So yeah, let me know if anybody has any questions. What a mess I am making. All right, now I'm going to wipe this black off so don't shake it in the light too much. All right, wiping that black off. So I'm just curious, what is everybody else favorite technique? What technique are you loving but maybe needing a little bit more help with? Would like me to do a live stream with any certain technique so we can troubleshoot through anything? Next week, I believe we will do, Dutch pours, blown pours, like different blown pours, different Dutch pours. Gonna get a little bit more white out there. Big canvas. Give my white a little shaky shake. Just gonna bring it right up to that black. All right, plenty there. All right. Okay, so now I have another toilet paper roll. We're gonna go right about there. Want to make sure we stay on camera. So, all right, we're going to do a whole variety of colors. We've got kind of a blown or Dutch pours is where you need. Okay, so next week at 2 o'clock, same old time, the time. I don't need to tell you. But for anybody else, 2 o'clock on Wednesdays, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is when I go live. So each week we've been doing a different technique. And so next week we will do the Dutch pour or the blown pours. And I'll tell you one thing, the key to those are you need a little bit thinner paints. Quite for a Dutch pour, quite a bit thinner. But so yeah, I'll show all kinds of different ways of doing the blown pours or Dutch pours. So that was cobalt blue, Cheap Paints cobalt blue, Cheap Paints turquoise, the permanent violet that does have the silicone, then a neon purple, which we're almost out. I'm about knocked over the toilet paper roll. And we'll put some of this navy. You can see the paint coming out the bottom a little bit, so that's perfect. You kind of want it to do that because it kind of gives it a little bit wispy up underneath there. I am just grabbing all kinds of colors here. So and then I think in the following after that, we'll do string pulls, chain pulls. And then soon after that, we should probably go over split cups. And I am no expert at any of these things. We're just showing all the different variations of different techniques. Okay, we've got plenty of paint in there. All right. Let me set these aside, get some elbow room here. Let some out the back end there, and then So I let way too much, like too quickly, but that is perfectly fine, not an issue. We're going to put a little bit more paint in there because I let a ton out right away. We're going to make this work. The lid just came off and went right in there. Did you see that? There's the lid. Okay, this just changed the technique though. Can't really do a toilet paper roll there. All right. And this is when you just go with it. I'm trying to think here, guys. Think on the fly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show what I'm going to do here. So I grabbed an empty cup. I am going to take and I'm going to pour a lot of this right off of this end. I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to pour a lot of this right off and save it for another project. So we've got another cup. We're literally going to pick that up and pour it this direction. All right. We're just going to leave that cup under there. It's fine under there. I'll grab it here in a little bit. Sometimes that happens. Oh my, and you just got to roll with it. Oh my gosh. But I don't like to waste paint. So even though that happens, we can make it work without wasting that paint. So let me clean up this white here just a little bit. Let me check out the situation we have going. We got a lot of purple, guys. So just gonna pop those air bubbles that created. And I said, you know what I said at the beginning? I'm really gonna blow this one out because I have a lot of edge. Yeah, we're really gonna blow this one out. Blow the lids right off the top, aren't we? Now we got it even on there. We got to clean up our little mini blower so we can use it. Now we're gonna blow the heck out of it. Oh, that's actually happened to me one other time on a video. I actually wish with this big a canvas I had my hair dryer. So you really need a hair dryer to really blow it out at this point. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to, Dutch pour a week early a little bit. Well, a little bit of that color into that purple. So I think we need just a little bit more color here, but not a ton. Just to kind of break up that purple a little bit. We're going to put a little bit of pink in here. And a little bit of this pink. All right, just to kind of break up and bring, because we have a lot of purple here, but to bring a little bit of these colors that we have up here, kind of down here a little bit. And this will kind of, you can see kind of some lacing popping up through with the white. So not bad, not bad. Could have been a total failure, but I think we've somewhat saved it. But I see what I'm going to do. I am going to take, where did my black? So I don't know. I don't think you guys will be able to. I'm putting some black down that I'm going to dip the palette knife in. So I've just got my edge of my palette knife, right? We're going to experiment kind of over near the... All right. What we're going to do is we're going to bring out... And then we'll blow that out just a little bit, but we're just... kind of to marry the two sides together somewhat. You can kind of just take some of this purple even and swipe through it, come up through here and kind of swipe some purple wispies. But what a mess. Oh my gosh. What a lot of purple there. But I think I've somewhat saved it. It really was not the look I was going for. I may mess around with it just a little bit more after the stream. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, what a mess. So this was my last one though, but a good thing it was my last one, because what a mess I'd have to clean up to be able to do the next one. All right, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I pulled a little bit of black over into that purple a little bit. And this is a great time. Hey, you messed, the lid came off, no worries. This is a great time to experiment. Just kind of go through it with some of this black wispies. Just kind of figure out some other ways to kind of save it. No worries. Kind of liking that, pulling the black over this way a little bit. So, all right, guys. Yeah, you wanted a Dutch pour, you got it. Oh gosh. It would have worked, actually would have blown the paint a lot better if we had thinner paint. There's an example of why you need kind of some thinner paint for a Dutch pour. But you can really do all kinds of a little experimenting with it at this point. But that's an all right save, I guess, for the lid coming off. Oh my gosh, what a mess. You love purple, so you're liking it. Awesome, awesome. And a nice variety. You got some nice black lacing, some nice white lacing. You got some colors. This it's Deco Arts Bluegrass Green. Oh my gosh, it really pops with that black, purple, and the bluegrass green. That's nice. So, all right. The only thing I think I will do, but I'll probably do that off camera, I think I'm going to mess around kind of in this area a little bit. I think this area needs a little help. What should we do here? I say I'm going to do it off camera, and here I'm just, well, let's go ahead and go at it. So, all right, guys, that is kind of it for this week. But next week, we'll do Dutch pours, blown pours. And there is kind of a slight difference between a Dutch pour or a blown pour. And I'll explain kind of a little bit of the difference there. But they're all pretty well the same, just slight variances to make the difference. So unless anybody has any questions, I think I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. What a silly ending to the stream, but that's okay. I think it worked out all right. So there was the open cylinder technique and showing you can use cookie cutters. You can use cut off pieces of just cups. You could use napkin rings. You can use toilet paper rings. You can use just so much different stuff. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And what a silly ending, but oh well, we made it work. So, all right, thank you so much. And I hope you guys have an awesome week. Awesome. I'm so happy you had fun. That's what I am always my goal, to make it, fun, interesting, and informative for everyone. So I hope you were able to get some tips or tricks out of today, or learn something new, at least one thing new. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and have a great, awesome week. We will be live again on Wednesday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time next Wednesday. And be the change you want to see in the world, guys. So awesome. Be the change you want to see in the world. Have a good one.